Ladies and gentlemen, the world as we see today stands to face a new challenge, and this is what we are calling risk. It is changing the way we are looking at risk. We have everything around us, and how we are looking at it can be actually risk. We have risks that are involving our people. We have climate change. We have digitization. Performance even itself is a risk. We are seeing geopolitical risks around us affecting everything. We are out of that era where you have to look at things in isolation. We are now in an era where we have to look at something from immediately as it happens, all anticipate it's happening. We have reached that level whereby we cannot plan for today. We need to plan and prepare for the future because we have no idea what the future holds for us. We lost relatives, friends when the COVID pandemic came in. We managed to come out of it as humanity, and it built resilience. How do we prepare ourselves for something that is like that, something that has been not planned for? And that is what I want to spend a little time with us today to discuss risk. We have seen organizations collapse during such periods, not because they didn't know this was coming, but many incidents, they started planning for it after it had come, and by then it's already too late. So how do we as leaders, board members, executives of organizations prepare ourselves and anticipate? How do we change from doing something now to early starters, early adopters in risk management? Let's look around ourselves today. We are very happy we have all this digitization technology that has come in. It is very beautiful. But at the same time, another set of people are thinking about, I am actually going to get richer because of this technology. They are removing the person who is looking at this transaction and replacing it with a machine which I created. How do I manipulate this machine to earn more money? So at that moment, you are thinking digital is a problem, but you have not planned on what can go wrong when we think about digitization. As we plan today, we are planning for how quickly we can grow our numbers. We need to change and start thinking about how well can we sustain this growth under very difficult circumstances or unplanned for circumstances. How do we build resilience within our businesses, starting from the board level down to our lowest cadres? How do we prepare for this bad day? And this is what I call early adapters. By nature, early adapters will engage the environment and ask questions. They will pull out listeners there to find out what has gone wrong somewhere or what could go wrong with this, and come up with possible mitigants because they are in position to study a possible outcome. It could be bad and prepare for it much earlier. We are seeing ransom attacks in different organizations, ransomware attacks, and we are saying it can't happen to me. But the day it happens to this organization is the day you are going to release so much amounts of dollars, millions of dollars or billions of shillings. Then you are going to spend a quarter of that money just buying the system to prevent this from happening again. I'm not saying that we should buy ransomware systems. I am just simply saying that we need to understand that there is risk ahead of us, and we need to be able to plan for it in advance before it happens. Critical in buying systems. But as leaders and board members, we need to ask ourselves, how are we managing a small factor called psychological safety to our staff? Many times, we board members don't have the same knowledge as the staff of the organizations that we are directing. They know much more than we do. We need to create an environment for them to feel they're able to speak because they know what is happening in the industry. They are seeing things happening in different territories. And once they're able to speak, we remove those barriers. And as you're addressing the issue of risk, you get innovation done, you get people to drive business, to come up with suggestions that can improve an organization, make it more efficient, more resilient. And that way, it's easier to talk about thinking 10 years from now because you know it is now embedded in the staff and they know that you react, you respond to them and support them when they come to say something. It's not about just simply coming up and say, I'm here to hear what you're saying. How well are you digesting and listening to them and giving them feedback on every single idea or suggestion they come up with? Fellow leaders, we are faced with a very powerful thing called risk. And if we do not understand the people we are working with, the environment we are in, the globe, because we are now a global entity. It's no longer a single individual thing. We have seen what has happened in the Middle East in the first quarter of 2026. We were saying Uganda is far away as a country. Today we have run out of fuel. Some supplies can't come in because many of our products were coming in from that territory. We're worried that COVID hit us, but we're eating. Today our worry is that every cost is going up. We cannot say, pray will just be hopeful that this is going to come to an end, but we need to come up with measures to manage if this actually happens, because the chances of happening are equal to the chances of not happening, and that is how we manage and mitigate risk. If you're spending 200,000 shillings on fuel every week, have you considered changing the way you're working to be able to manage this cost but still continue doing your work? Have you considered how your business is being managed, or how you lead or direct at the board level? Because if we do not anticipate these risks, planning becomes impossible. And in most cases, we start doing post-mortems, and that is already when it's too late. We need to start managing this in advance. We need to open up to our staff to be able to talk. It's not about how you close the month, how you close the year, how you close the quarter. It is about how prepared you are for the next quarter, the next year, the next 5 years. We need to gain the trust of our people, because just simply opening up to them and they do not believe that we are going to listen to them or do what they want, they're advising us or probably proposing to us, is more or less honestly a waste of time. We need to create the trust. What sort of values are we putting out there? It's so easy for me to come and I give a speech to an audience that a leader should be this, a leader should be this. Humans by nature can pick somebody they trust and that somebody they do not trust. So they will probably tell you what you want to hear, because at the end of it all they know you're not going to act on it. So we need to create trust. Not only should we speak about trust, but we should act with trust. And that way, because of this common relationship and engagement between ourselves and the people we're working with, including even our customers, we create a very resilient organization and environment. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us today on the Job Early Impact. Until next time, see you.